The wind howled across the empty plains, carrying with it the scent of dust, regret, and vengeance. When Colton Hayes rode into the Dawson Ranch, the sun hung low, burning red like the sins that had brought him there. His mission was simple: take the land that belonged to Samuel Dawson, the man who'd once ruined his family. But nothing about that day would go as planned. Because when he pulled up to the worn ranch house, it wasn't Samuel Dawson waiting on the porch, it was his daughter. And she wasn't afraid. Colton dismounted slowly, boots sinking into the dry earth. His black hat cast a shadow across eyes hardened by years of pain. The Dawson Ranch looked like it was on its last breath: broken fences, dry wells, peeling paint. Once a proud estate, now just bones of what it used to be. He came to collect what was owed, to make Samuel Dawson pay for what he did to the Hayes family all those years ago, cheating his father out of land, out of pride, and driving him to the grave. But instead of finding the man himself, Colton found a woman. She stood tall, arms folded, her brown hair catching the light like wildfire. There was defiance in her eyes, but also something softer, grief, maybe. "You're trespassing, cowboy," she said, voice firm but trembling slightly. Colton tipped his hat. "Name's Hayes, Colton Hayes. I reckon your pa knows why I'm here." Her expression changed. She swallowed hard. "My father passed away 2 weeks ago." The words hit him harder than he expected. He'd ridden 2 days across the desert for vengeance, and the man he came to destroy was already gone. Her name was Lila Dawson, and she carried herself like a woman who'd lost everything but refused to break. Over a cup of bitter coffee, she explained the truth. The ranch was in debt. The bank wanted it. The neighbors avoided them since her father's fall from grace. Colton listened silently. Every word tore at the anger he'd been feeding for years. When she finished, she looked him dead in the eye and said something that changed everything. "If you came to take the land, then take it. But if there's another way, I'll give myself instead." The words froze in the air like winter itself. Colton stared, unsure if he'd heard right. "You're offering yourself." Her cheeks flushed, but her eyes didn't waver. "If that's what it takes to keep this place from dying, I'll work for you. Cook, clean, tend the horses, whatever you need. Just let me keep the Dawson name on this soil." Colton rose slowly, hat twisting in his hands. He'd come for vengeance, but what stood before him was something sacred: sacrifice. Days turned into weeks. Colton stayed, at first to keep his word, later because he couldn't bring himself to leave. Lila worked from dawn to dusk, her hands rough, her back aching, yet she never complained. She talked little, but every time she smiled, just a small, fleeting thing, it made the ranch seem alive again. And Colton, against his better judgment, found peace there. He fixed the fences, repaired the barn, taught her to ride again. But the ghosts of the past didn't stay buried. One night, a man from town came riding in, a banker with a cruel smirk. He told Lila the ranch was days away from foreclosure. The debt was too big. Lila broke down in tears, whispering, "My father ruined us. And now his sins are taking me too." That's when Colton made his decision. He sold his own small land back east, the only thing his father had left him, to pay off the Dawson debt. He didn't tell her. He just handed the deed to the banker and walked away into the night. When Lila found out, she rode after him, barefoot, in the cold. The rain fell hard, blinding, but she didn't stop until she caught sight of him at the old creek road. "Why'd you do it?" she screamed, voice shaking. "Why would you give everything for me?" Colton turned, eyes heavy with something deeper than sorrow. "Because I came to take your father's land, but I ended up finding my soul instead." The silence that followed was the kind only the heart could hear. Lila dismounted, walked up to him, and took his rough hands in hers. "Then stay. Don't go chasing ghosts. Let's build something new, here, on this land." And for the first time in years, Colton Hayes smiled. The ranch bloomed again. Together, they rebuilt it, board by board, seed by seed. The scars of the past didn't vanish, but they became part of the soil, something to grow from rather than hide. Sometimes the neighbors would whisper about the man who came to take the Dawson land but stayed for the girl instead. But Lila didn't care, and neither did Colton. Every morning, they'd stand together on the porch, coffee in hand, watching the sunrise over the fields. It wasn't revenge that saved him. It wasn't land that saved her. It was love, unexpected, undeserved, and stronger than all the pain that came before it. Final message: sometimes, what we ride for isn't what we find. Vengeance can lead a man to ruin, but love can lead him home.